I'm your host, Destiny Sidwell.
I'm also your host, Sara Crowley.
And this is Bookmark'd. One of us has to change.
Back to you, Destiny.
I know. I feel like we're either about to drop the hardest album of all time, and like you're about to have like the guitar, and I'm about to just be like,
no, it feels karaoke or newscaster.
No, or like we're reporting for the news. Yeah. No, it feels like. Did your school ever have like news broadcasting?
Yeah, the morning news.
Yeah, this is what it feels like.
Yeah, that is what it feels like.
Like low budget.
If you don't know what we're talking about, we got new mics. Also, if you're not watching on the video, you should see where we're sitting today because we are
in our apartment.
In our new apartment. Surprise!
Yep, surprise.
It's very planned because we just moved in, so we only have a table and a couch right now. But
I don't know about keeping this couch around.
It's soft.
I mean, but it's like kind of firm. I found it on Facebook Marketplace, and I don't know about it.
That's what we've been doing for right now. We don't have much.
Yeah, Sarah's on the bed, and then my bed hasn't come yet.
Actually, I'm on the pull-out, and Destiny's actually on the bed.
Because it's so weird that you're trying to paint it that way because it's not. Because my bed hasn't come in yet, so we're just kind of waiting, and we haven't started doing the decor and stuff.
Yeah, so it's pretty bland. Well, welcome back to Bookmark'd, guys. We're surprised together. If you're also not watching visually, yeah. Well, watching. What's the word?
Visually. If you're not watching with your eyes, that Sarah just rolled hers at me.
That's not what I meant.
Sarah's like, anyway.
Well, welcome back, guys. We are together. If you're listening on audio, we are in New York City. Surprise. We have not talked about this on anything, actually, other than with each other and with... Is this coming out before we, say anything?
I mean, it's coming out tomorrow.
Well, we've been talking about this with besties Haley and Rachel. This has been an ongoing thing, but...
Yeah.
Surprise, we are in New York.
Well, ongoing within, the last month. And also, it's, not a big dealio since we all, know each other. I feel like it was just kind of, nonchalant.
Yeah, it was a casual meetup.
Me and Sarah are convinced that... Because we're, asking Rachel, hey, when do you want to meet up? It's up to you. This is your time.
No
we don't
pressure. Emphasis on no pressure.
And me and Sarah keep saying to each other, we're staying in the same hotel that Rachel is staying in. And we're imagine we just get on the elevator and we're like, oh my God, it's Rachel. And, we haven't even got a proper introduction.
We can backtrack if anyone is confused. So...
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this happened, I guess, a few months ago. Bestie Rachel Catherine, if you don't know, you should definitely check out Bestie Rachel Catherine. She planned, an overseas trip because she is from Australia to the United States. She's traveling around with her husband. And since she's so close to where we are, obviously, this doesn't really happen. We're not going to Australia anytime soon, are you?
It wasn't on the top that, to go out of the country.
I didn't think so.
But, I would go. I want those freaking donuts that they get from the cafe, and I want the strawberry matcha that they're always posting with.
That's the reason we're going to go to Australia. But she was coming here, and since she's going to be so close to us, we decided to do just a little meetup. It's just not once in a lifetime, but it feels like that because we always talk, all the time, all of us, and it was we had to make it happen.
Once in a while, it's not something that's going to, come around often.
So
it's almost like an eclipse.
Advantage of it. Yeah.
Twilight eclipse. Okay. I won't talk about Edward Cullen right now, but I want to. I want everyone to
go off.
It's just I saw a clip from the extended cut that's on Amazon Prime if anybody's wondering, and it's from the second Twilight, I'm pretty sure, and it's he's in the car, and oh my God, it sounds cringy.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh my God.
I know.
Okay, they're in the car. Mm-hmm. Is it from the first one or the second one? No, it's the second one because they're coming back from Bella's birthday.
Okay, my birthday.
Is her name Bella?
Yeah, Bella Swan.
Yeah, Bella Swan. Oh my God. But I my names have not been anyway, don't need to get into it. And he's in the car, and this isn't in the original movie, but it's in the extended cut, like I already said. And he's when you read fantasy books and the guy's kind of self-loathing a little bit, and he's that's what Edward Cullen gives. That's why you need to watch Twilight. Because he gives that to the max.
Do we watch Twilight tonight?
Don't even tempt me. Because
I love a good time.
I love Twilight. During the fall time, that's all that's on the TV.
Okay. We're going to have to talk about that because there's a lot of movies potentially we could watch. Me for the first time.
Oh my God. And what do I do with this?
You can sit on it and you can choose. Okay.
I love Twilight.
back to what I was saying. So we decided, since she's going to be in New York for like the bulk of her trip, like this is the place she's going to be for like the longest, we were going to pick some dates for us to all come and just meet up for the first time, which is just so insane. So we planned the dates, and then it took a while for us to plan where we were going to stay and like that whole thing. So it was going to be me, Destiny, and Haley, and we were like, do we just stay at home and travel into the city, like all this thing. And it was hard because we're all so busy with our own things, so it's hard to pick a date. So having a date that was like kind of soon, because we planned this really like last month, even though we kind of knew. But we ended up choosing these dates, and then we picked this hotel. Bestie Haley couldn't make it for this one. She's very busy right now, and picked up Destiny from the airport this morning, and now we're in New York. We're gonna have a fun little book girlies trip, New York edition. We're so excited because usually we're in different areas of like New Jersey. Or that's really it.
Well, we tried to do New York like a year ago.
Yeah, but we just did a day trip to New York because you needed to experience it.
I had never been to New York before, and I've always wanted to go. But then also, I think you weren't feeling well that day. Like as soon as the day started, you were like,
I got weird. Remember we got to New York as soon as we got here?
Oh, we had to go find a CVS.
Yeah, I needed to get a leave like at that moment.
And it's like we were trying to have fun, but it was like,
yeah,
I can't give it my all.
Yeah, but we did have fun. We went shopping. My phone got hacked that morning. It was that morning I picked you up, right?
But we didn't get it. We went to New York the day after you got hacked because remember we had to come back and your mom was yelling at us for how much money was.
Well, yeah, because my phone, I had to close all my cards. If you don't remember last year, we definitely talked about it on the podcast.
God, that was so funny.
Yeah, my phone.
Wait, no, we didn't have the podcast back then. When that happened, we didn't have the podcast.
Oh.
No, because that was like in April. That was in the beginning of April.
If you watched the videos from those vlogs from that time, we definitely talked about it because it was happening in real time with those vlogs. But my phone got hacked.
No, but go ahead and tell them how you got hacked.
I'm embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed. But okay, I think I bought a new Kindle and it shipped to the wrong place, so I wanted to call Amazon to ship it to my house because I put it at the wrong address. And I just searched like Amazon customer service and I clicked the first number. Don't do that because it was probably a sponsored number or something. That was the top one. And it went to hackers, and somehow, some way they got into my phone. I mean, not somehow, some way.
Sarah.
I downloaded an app.
She downloads an app, and I want to tell you guys that this is like, okay, so to put it in perspective, we filmed our book girlies meetup. This was like a few weeks later, so this was only like our second time and first time hanging out one-on-one. So Sarah's on the phone, and I'm telling myself in my head, I'm just gonna let her handle it, because I'm thinking, Sarah, this is so shady.
I was on the phone for so long.
She was on the phone for so long, and then because in my mind I was like, okay, Amazon is so whatever, like they're just gonna be quick with it.
I've done it before too. They get in your account so easily if they know if it's Amazon.
Yes.
These people, they were like screen recording my screen. Like I got them into my Venmo. It was really
They told
bad.
Sarah, download this app, that way we can see your screen and go to your bank account. Go to your bank account and then go to this.
Right over my head. Okay, usually I'm okay with that. Like
and your mom was in there too, and your mom was yelling at you to get off the phone.
Yeah, I don't know why I just kept going with it. I've heard stories of hackers. I don't know. I just did not think about anything.
Remember when you called Chris and Chris was like, it's like what my grandma would fall for. Like, there's no way you fell for that, Sarah.
I don't know how it happened, but I had to lock my cards. We went to Verizon, TD, went to all the places, dragged Destiny all over my town. And then I closed all my cards, and then I closed, well, not closed my phone, but I couldn't really go on any social medias or anything just in case they were still in my phone. So I couldn't use my phone. And we had plans to go to the city the next day, so I had to use my mom's card and just pay her back. So that's why when we got home, she was like, what did you guys, like, where, you were all over.
Oh, no, that was like, she asked you to, like, sit down, okay, let me see. And then she starts, like, yelling at Sarah and was like, what did you spend this money on? And I'm just sitting there at the kitchen island, like, just watching this happen. And then she looks at me and goes, how much money did you spend? How much money did you spend? And I was like, I don't even know what money is, honestly. So funny. But no, okay. We were being the most dramatic we could be with it, though, like, in the grand scheme of things, looking back. Like, we immediately go to the bank. We're like, shut down all of these accounts.
Well, I just got nervous.
Sarah goes, I'm getting a brand new phone. Like, I'm getting rid of this phone.
Well, they're in my phone.
We went to the Apple store. And we told the guy, this is what happened. And we're like, we need a brand new phone. He was like, you don't need a brand new phone. Like, if anything, I don't know, just, like, maybe get a new SIM card.
I just didn't want to risk it just in case they were still on my phone. Like, my whole life is on my phone.
Yeah. No, and I understood it.
The Verizon
I was like, you need to get out.
Laughed at us. We had to go there twice.
We went there the day we went to New York.
Yeah, on the way home from New York, we stopped there to get the new phone. It was like, he was like beside himself because he was around our age.
Yes.
And I'm telling him the story. I had to repeat it many times. He had his coworkers come over to the table so I could repeat the story to them.
They were having a heyday with it for sure.
Yeah, so...
And we sat in that Verizon for a long time.
A long time.
And we sat in the banks for a long time.
A long time.
Because then the next day after that, you got your new phone. Then we had to go back to TD to try to get a new bank card.
Yeah.
And that... I don't know what that guy was doing. He was not doing it right, though. Me and Sarah were so hangry that we get in the car afterwards and we were just like... I thought
it was going to be quick, because I've gotten a new debit card before, and they'd, like, kind of just give it to you, but this was, like, I had to close my whole account. But that happened last year when we came to the city, so it was, like, a whole thing. We also didn't stay here, so we didn't have a lot of time in the city. We just kind of went shopping around a little bit, went to all the bookstores. But this time around, we're here for, what's today? Is Wednesday?
Yeah.
And Destiny leaves on Saturday. So we're here for a good amount of time. We have all the time to kill with the bookstores and the shopping and the whole New York experience. So that's what's happening. Rachel's not here yet. We have not even met her, but we were talking about it because we were like, we have like a set like plan to like meet up and stuff, but like we're in the same hotel. So we could just like get on the elevator and go downstairs and like bump into Rachel. It's like, that's what we were talking about.
Well, and it's so, because think about it, because she's on the... I mean, what's the train ride from Boston to New York?
A few hours, probably.
I mean, but she'll be here tonight.
That's what I'm saying.
And so, like, and
we're all going to dinner at the same time.
It's also just so weird, though, because it's, like, not weird, but it's, like, you know that you're in the same hotel.
That's what I'm saying. And when we were planning all of this, like, this is the hotel that I love staying at, so...
Like, what if we just found her room? Room service, and it's just us.
It's us.
Hey! And she's like this, creeped out. She's like, all right.
But we've been talking about this so much that I think that's how we're going to meet her. So
well, I definitely think we're manifesting it. Like, we're like because we're kind of like it's coming from a place of anxiety, though. We're like, oh, God.
Like, when's it going to happen?
Like, because it's that we're staying in the same hotel that we're like...
But we talked to Rachel so much that I feel like I've already met her. Do you feel like you've already met her?
Oh, yeah, because we actually Snapchat.
We do Snapchat videos back. She is the reason I have Snapchat still downloaded on my phone.
Yeah.
It's because we do Snapchat. So, like, I feel like we've already met her, so, like, I'm not, like, nervous about anything like that. It's just, like, the actual interaction of meeting. I don't think it's going to be the planned, like, meetup. I think we're going to run into her.
Yeah, I feel that in my bones. I don't think that... But then I'm so awkward when you catch me off guard, though. Like, I need to meticulously plan inside of my head, like, how this interaction's going to go. So if we, like, got on the elevator or, like, anything and just ran into her...
Best case, we meet in the lobby by accident.
Imagine we went to breakfast, like, downstairs, and then she's there.
And she's in... Like, do we, like, go over to her table?
Hey, so hope you guys don't mind adding 2, because we're going to be eating with you guys. Hey, what's going on?
Honestly, that's best case, is meeting her like that in, like, a public at least. Worst case, in an elevator.
Oh, that's just awkward, because it's, like, then you have a few seconds of interaction, because, like, then she has to get off the elevator, and you have to get off the elevator.
But, like, you're stuck on the elevator for a little bit.
But then you're on the same floor. What if?
That'd be so funny. Imagine we're all on the same floor. Anyway.
But that's what's happening right now with our New York trip. I love how, okay, so we come here, and then we get in the car, and Sarah's like, okay, we have to get upstairs and plan.
We haven't planned one thing.
Do you know what we did when we came up here? We went and bought microphones.
Yeah, the microphones you're seeing are new, so hopefully they're better, like, handhelds, because the ones we have at home are good on the desks and, like, just stationary.
And they're in stands. Like, they're not good because anytime we've tried to film with those, like, holding them,
you hear it.
You guys are like,
move.
I hate that you guys are holding them.
Yeah, it's hard to just hold them. I did bring it with me because it's the only mic I really have to use, but
I've been wanting to get us these.
I think these are better
for months.
Yeah, I think it'll be better, especially even if at home, if you want to use these, so you don't hear anything. Because I do think the background noises are annoying when you're, like, trying to listen to what people are saying. So hopefully these are better. We did go out and get these as soon as we got here because we were like...
And that was an experience.
This is a work trip. This is a Bookmark'd...
This is, like, sponsored by Bookmark'd almost.
Yeah, if you can see on the video, we are wearing our merch.
Shout out
Bookmark'd.
Shout out to the podcast that you're listening to right now.
That's the camera store we went to was...
B&H.
It was B&H. It's huge. I've never seen... We were talking about it. We were looking at, like, all the cameras and stuff and the microphones, and we were like, doing this as our job and, like, having as many cameras as we do, it's crazy seeing all of them. Like, we don't know.
No.
We are not even, like, an inch into, like, the sphere of cameras and microphones.
We were just looking at, like, external microphones, and we were like,
there's so many.
I don't know what it does and how to work it.
It's like, what's the difference between the two that look the same?
It's like, as soon as something gets hard, I'm like, oh, I give up.
Yeah.
Like,
that's where I stick to what I know a little. But it was huge, and we ordered them online to pick up there. So we went on the line to pick up the microphones, and we got up, and she gave us a slip, and she walked us over to the exit. And we were like, okay, maybe she's going to, like, give us the microphone somewhere else. She had to, like, pick them up. But we get over by the exit, and there's, like, a phone. Like, think of, like, the old phones, like, on the house phones on the walls with, like, the cords. And it said, what did it say on top? Like, what was it called? Verification
check.
Verification check. She hands Destiny a slip, and she walks away.
No, she hands me the slip, and she goes, pick up the phone. It sounded so sketchy. Like, if anybody has watched, like, a mob movie.
But, yeah, no one was over by the phone. Like, it was just, like, in the corner. So, Destiny picks up the phone. And what did she say to you on the phone?
She just goes, hi, how can I help you? And then I was like, I was told to give you this verification number. I give it to her. Mm-hmm. She goes, what's your number? I give her my number.
And then she calls you.
And then she goes, okay, hang up the phone. I'm telling you guys, I was like, what is going on?
It was so
I hang it up. She calls me. She goes, okay, you can go pick up your order now. And I said, oh, from where? Because, like, I was like, I'm in the store. She goes, you're in the store, aren't you? And I was like, yeah. She goes, so just go pick it up. And then hung up.
We were so confused. So we went back online that we were just on. And we went up to another person and we handed them the verification number. We're like, we were just on the phone, whatever. And then she was like, oh, it's going to be like 5 more minutes, like, whatever. So then we went to look at the cameras and stuff. 5 minutes passed, we go back up, go to another person, and we're like, we were told to wait. We give the phone number. Destiny gives her ID for the third time. Verification. And then she was like, a couple more minutes, they're like boxing it up. We're like, okay, is our microphones here? Well, are they here?
I was really confused because when we placed the order, because, okay, keep in mind, this is the conversation. I go, I wish that we had different microphones. Like, I was talking about these. I was like, there are some microphones that I wish that we had. And then you were like, oh, should we see if they have any? And then I was like, oh, I'll look it up. But, like, I highly doubt there's a store around here that we could, like, just go to pick them up. And lo and behold, there was.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, cool. And it said curbside. It said within less than 30 minutes. And it was 30 minutes away. So I was like, oh, okay. Like, it's going to take us longer. Like, by the time we get there, it's going to be over 30 minutes. So then we get there, and it's just, like, nobody had even actually... And they were pretty sufficient. Like, everything they were doing behind the counter was them packing orders.
Yeah, you could see it.
So I thought, oh, definitely for sure. But I just think, like, maybe we got lost in translation.
Yeah. Eventually they came out, though. She gave us a little bag. It was smooth at the last lady we went to.
Yeah, we had to go to, like, 4 different employees.
Yeah. Well, every time we went back in line, all of the workers were changed. Like, they were, like, swapping out workers.
Not a single face that we had seen before. It was so interesting. And it was, like, 2 minutes later. Yeah. And we were, like...
They were all swapped out. It was so interesting.
They were, like... going, and I swear I have watched somebody's video before talking about the store and, like, the film specifically and what they do. I think with in the city
that's where you get your film
developed. And it's like, but I feel like I remember I don't know, I watched so many New York YouTubers, so who knows who it was from. Yeah. But
that was an experience. It was fun, though, an experience
for sure.
These little mics.
And I've always wanted these because I see other people use them on their podcast, but I always thought, like, especially when you're traveling, they're just a lot more, like, they even came with
it came with a little bag to travel
like,
with.
They're just a lot more easy to travel with.
They're so lightweight too. Holding the other mics, like, they're really, like, heavy.
Because you're supposed to put them on a stand. Yeah, like, you're not supposed to hold them.
I think that's why when we do hold them, like, we have to move them around a lot because they get really heavy, and then you just hear every movement with the microphone.
Yeah, but even when I watch other people's podcasts and they're using handhelds, like when you watch Zane and Heath, you don't hear it.
You don't hear it.
But we don't have a sound and production team, y'all. It's just us. Like, there is nobody helping us out.
I always think about that too when I watch them.
And like how we just said we know nothing. Imagine a podcast with 2 people who know next to nothing.
Yeah, this is like we know the bare minimum, but not because we don't try. Like, we look into, like, the cameras we're using and stuff, but stepping into that photo camera store, like, there are so many, like, cameras and microphones out there. I
feel like a lot of people who have podcasts and it's, like, super high production, like, they have people helping them behind the scenes, like a cameraman and people who know sound and audio, like.
Yeah. On the way back from the camera store, we came back and then we got some lunch, which, if you don't know me and Destiny, we've definitely talked about this. Cannot make decisions, especially for, like, each other. Like, God forbid we do something that Destiny didn't want to do, but I picked it. We just live in fear of that. So if you want to know how it is when we hang out and we have to make a decision, it's like, I'll be hungry and I'll say, are you hungry? And if you are hungry, I'm like, okay, perfect. Like, now we have a plan of we're going to get lunch or something.
Okay, so we know that we both want food.
Yes. Then it comes, like, what are we eating? And that's where it gets difficult. So then one of us has to say, like, what we're in the mood for. Mm-hmm. I think I said I wanted a sandwich.
Because I was asking you because usually, like, I don't ever eat lunch.
Yeah.
I'll snacky.
Yeah.
Like, or I'll have a smoothie.
Yeah. I was hungry, though. But then I was like, do you want a sandwich? Are you sure you would eat a sandwich?
Well, I had not ate one thing today, so I was like, yeah, I would go for a Sammy right now.
And then we're both looking up places, and, like, it just takes a while for us to make one decision on things. So.
Well, because then we have, like, the palate of literally, like, a 7-year-old. And we're like, I just want a turkey sandwich.
Yeah. We unfortunately don't have
taste buds that are.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
we
try
eat just
foods
10 things.
like,
I don't either.
Like, I feel more out there than, like, you have to think, like, I live with Isaac and he, like, refuses. Like, if I'll make, like, salmon or, like, something like that and he won't eat it, like, he'll be like, no, like, I don't want to eat that. Mm-hmm. So I think, like, I have, like, I'll be like, oh, well, I'll step out of the box more. But no, I won't. Because I'm sticking with chicken, steak, and salmon. Like, I'm not eating anything else.
I'm the same way. I don't like to try new things. I'm very picky. I think I just like a lot of textures of food. And I know when I look at something, if I'm not going to like it, then I won't try it.
Well, no, like, for example, we go to this place that's, like, right around the corner from our house. And I'm like, ooh, they have a chicken sandwich. We go to the dinner menu. As we get there, we're all sitting there. It says it has like apple cabbage on it and like other weird stuff. And I'm like, why can't it just be a chicken sandwich?
You gotta start asking for it off.
No, but then I was like, oh, I can't because I had already asked for them to like take something else off, and I couldn't be like, hey, can you just basically? And fork. I did, and it was
not good.
No,
I know though if a restaurant has the chicken sandwich, I'm like, I'm good. Like
chicken tenders or a chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Chicken sandwich is my go-to.
Always my go-to. See, we have, like, we will eat the same foods, but just, like, making the decision of where we're going, what we're doing and stuff, it takes a little.
Well, and I always say this. You can be like, hey, we're going here. I will find something on the menu to order.
I am the same way. It's just making the decision, like, because God forbid you don't like it.
I mean, but then again, like, when we were just in...
Joe and the Juice?
Nope.
Oh, Olive?
No, when we were in Delaware.
Oh.
But we weren't in Delaware. We were in... Pennsylvania. And we went to the one restaurant that was just like right around the corner from the hotel, remember? And I just ate lettuce. And because like nothing else on the menu was very appetizing. Said this when
Haley's with us, it's really nice because she can make a decision. And then we're the type of people that's like, okay, we'll find something there. Which is nice.
Yeah, and like, do you ever have this conversation with Chris where he's like, where do you want to eat? And you're like, you care more about the like food than I do. Like, as in like, you're going to care more if, like, the food is bad or something. Like, so I would rather you pick where you want. I will find something off the menu. And you just try to yell that and yell that and yell that. And they're like, no, like, you pick something. And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, because he's always like, you're the picky one. You need to pick something. He always says that. But he's the type where he gets upset if I don't like my food. So he wants me to pick because, God forbid, like, we get there and then I don't like my food. Then he's upset that I didn't like it. He needs to make sure I'm going to get something that I like where we go. But I don't like picking. Because I'm like, you have a bigger palate.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's go somewhere that you know you like everything on the menu. So there's at least one thing on that menu for me.
But the thing is that I think Isaac is delusional and doesn't know that he's as picky as he is. Because, like, we both go for the same thing when we go to a restaurant. Like, he might get a burger and I'll get a chicken sandwich. Or we'll both get, like, a wrap of some sort. Like, we're getting the same thing. So let's not act like neither one of us are, like,
picky.
Oh, we'll go get whatever. But I'm like, you pick. Because I don't, oh my God, like when it's your, do you have like nightmares when it's like your birthday and you have to pick like the restaurant and everything? Because like for me, I just genuinely don't care. Like I'm just like, I don't really think about like, ooh, I want this restaurant. Like even, and that's our problem too, is because whenever you're like, what do you want? I'm like, and I'm not saying it to be like, nope, you can just pick whatever. I genuinely, unless I'm like really strongly craving something, I am never thinking of a restaurant that I want to eat at.
Yeah, me neither.
It's never in my head. I'll go get Chipotle because I'm like, oh, that's just like quick to go get.
Yeah.
Like I'm never like when I'm at home. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just go get it real quick.
Yeah, something easy.
Like it's not something
for like
where
anniversaries and birthdays and stuff usually. Well, mostly like anniversaries, like Chris puts like pressure on himself to pick something really nice or something, and then he procrastinates it, and then it takes a while. So then I'm like, I will do the reservations. It'll take him like, I think it was like Valentine's Day. It took him so long to find something, and it was like last minute close to Valentine's Day, and he was getting so stressed over it. Like he works himself up because he wants it to be really good, and I'm like, pick anywhere.
That's so sweet.
I will eat pasta anywhere.
Like I will eat chicken tenders or pasta anywhere.
Yeah,
please just pick one of
in
them.
hindsight, but like
it is sweet.
I don't know why he just stresses himself over picking the reservation. I'm like, literally anything.
Well, and like you said, it's like, but I'm the type of person that like even, and we have had these instances a lot when we go out to eat where I'll be like, yeah, I didn't really like my food.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I never make like a scene over it. Like I'm just like, if I'm hungry when I get home, like I might have some cereal.
Yeah.
Like it's just not a big deal. It's not gonna end the world. But like, and also I'm never really like super hungry. So I know Isaac gets super hungry because like boys usually have a bigger appetite or whatever. So I'll be like, no, you pick where you want because you should be more fulfilled by this meal. Like you just pick it.
We're just people pleasers to our core.
Oh my gosh.
Like to our core. Anyway, we did get lunch and then we stopped at this matcha place and we tried a matcha cookie. Was not very good.
Oh, I can't even talk about that matcha cookie because I needed to get another drink and I didn't get one.
But the matcha was delicious. At least mine was really good. And then it's right here. My dough is a watered down matcha.
My dough is a water because I need to drink a ton of water today. For some reason when I travel, my body like hates me. Like everything that I'm going through right now within my body is like, I hate you.
Yeah, I feel like when people travel, I don't do it a lot, but I know it like messes up your body and like your skin.
And, like, your skin? like, my stomach hurts constantly.
Yeah.
I'm constantly having a headache. I'm constantly in pain. And I'm like, oh, why? All I do is get on the plane.
I wonder why it is.
I don't
Your body
know
just,
why.
like, knows that you're going somewhere new.
No, anytime that, like, we're on a trip or something, or I'm, like, coming to Jersey, stomach hurts 24/7. I'm like,
thing.
What?
It's so weird. It's like your body knows that you're traveling.
And then the second I get home, it's fine.
Yeah.
I swear.
You're back to normal.
That's why sometimes I'm like, is it mental? But then it's not, because I won't think about it and my stomach hurts.
Well, that's all we've done so far. Now we're sitting here and we still haven't planned what we're going to do.
Oh,
I know what, like, the, like, basic stuff we're going to do, like, the whole shopping and bookstores and stuff, but it's like...
But it's more like day to day, like, what are we going to do tomorrow? And what are we going to do Friday?
Yeah, we're going to have to start planning some stuff.
We literally only have tomorrow and Friday.
Yeah, like, full days tomorrow.
Yeah, full
Friday.
days.
Yeah. And tomorrow... What I'm assuming we're doing tomorrow is we're going to wake up and go to get coffee and matcha. That's actually all I know we're doing. Like, I know for a fact we're doing that.
Now, I have a question, still on the same food theme. Do you wake up hungry, or are you like, oh, this is going to take me a while?
No, usually no. Sometimes I'll wake up, like, starving, but most of the times, no. I wake up and I just, like, relax for a little until I want, like, a matcha, and then I'll have breakfast.
See, me, I don't know. I feel like sometimes it depends on, like, what I had the night before.
Yeah, I don't really wake up, I feel like, that hungry. And I usually, like, I'll go to, like, if I have my workout classes in the morning, I'll go there without eating, and I'll just eat after.
Yeah, see, I have a little, like, pre-workout snack, and then I come home and I do a lot before I even, like, get to making breakfast.
Eventually I'll have a breakfast. Just, I don't think it's usually when I, like, wake up.
See, I love a breakfast.
I like breakfast food.
That's sometimes I like breakfast food probably the most out of anything.
Yeah, I don't know which one's my favorite. It's not dinner food, I can tell you that.
No, because me and Isaac will literally eat breakfast for dinner.
That's, like, the best.
We'll just, like, make biscuits and eggs and bacon and, like eat that for dinner.
Makes it taste better when it's not breakfast time.
No, that's
we have
like
to go to
go-to.
the flip what's it called?
Flippers?
We have to go there. We tried to go to this, like, breakfast place last time we were here, but I think, did we not make a reservation? There was, like, no time.
I don't know if it was lack of reservation. There was just a lot of people going there. I don't know if it's just a popular, but also I feel like it was later in the day by the time that we got there. Like, it wasn't
they have,
early.
Like, those, like, fluffy pancakes that are, like, really thick and stuff, and it looked really yummy, so we're gonna go there. But it's really close to where we are now, so maybe we'll go one day.
It's, like, walkable.
Yeah. But the place that we're in, like, the hotel has a little restaurant area too, so they do breakfast too. But
easy, simple breakfast. You just walk downstairs.
Those are the only things I know we're gonna do. No plan.
Of course, we're gonna go around to look at books.
Obviously. Do you have anything on your radar to buy, like, any books you would like to get while you're here?
Any books? That's
the accent you've been doing.
I don't know what you're talking about, though.
Okay, you have, like, your country twang that you don't think you have, but I know you have. And then sometimes, like, since you've been here, like, you've had, like, some words you'll just, like, speak differently.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if it's because I've started to get really I don't know the word. I had it and then I got whatever. Because I feel like when I talk and I'm just talking, like, regular, I feel like I'm kind of, like, monotone a little bit. Like, it's not, like, a super, like, cheery.
Okay.
But then I get insecure about it, and
So
I think people are going to tell me. So then I try to be like, oh, yeah. And I feel like when I talk, it's because it's not my accent. That's what it is. It's because it's unnatural for me to talk up.
And every time you've been doing it, you've been, like, clocking yourself, being like, I don't know why I said it like that.
Well, no, because I'll be like, oh, yeah, whatever. But then I feel like once I come back down, it's, like, normal. Like, if I'm just, like, talking normally, it's just, like...
Okay, so maybe it's not a new accent. It's just you're emphasizing different words. It's okay, because I talk really fast and I can't help myself. I have to get my words out.
See, but I don't get that about you.
Hold my hand when you say this.
I don't think... I'm saying I don't notice that, if that's something that you notice about yourself, because my brain goes 1,000 miles a minute, that if you talked slow, I think I would be, like...
I have to, like, listen to things fast. I think that's why I talk fast. Also, I've said before, like, when I was younger, like, hanging out with friends, like, I had to get my words out, or else I get cut off. So, like, I need to speak fast.
Me and my mom in a conversation. It's a competition for who's going to get their words out first. Like, my mom is a grade A and that's why sometimes I feel like I can do that, and then I'm like, stop doing that, stop doing that. Like, we'll be talking.
People don't notice it. Like, they just want to get their words out, too, before they, like, forget it. Like, I know, like, I've done that before, too. And
it's not a big deal. I feel like I talk fast, too. Like, once I really get going.
You have a good speed.
I get a lot of comments that were like, first of all, I get a lot of comments that are like, I don't even have to watch you in 2x speed because of the way. But also, There's a podcast episode, you guys find it a few episodes ago, that I started busting out laughing and Sarah did not catch it because we were talking about something. I think it was the first episode that I did in Austin. Mm-hmm. And you were like, I mean, but like you can talk. Like you can talk for sure. And I was like, and I started looking over and I'm laughing and then you just like kept going.
No, but that wasn't even in a mean way.
I know.
Like you used to say like when you got home from school, like,
no.
You at the dinner table, like, you're going. Like, you're talking.
Oh, my God. My parents could... Literally, I told Sarah this not that long ago, that I would come home from school, and me, my brother, and my mom and dad would be sitting down and eating, and they would be like, Dakota, how was your day? He'd be like, fine. Keep in mind, they didn't ask me about my day.
Because they knew.
Dakota's, as soon as the words fine came out of Dakota's mouth, I knew that he wasn't saying anything. I said, okay, so now this was my day. Like scene by scene by scene by scene, this is what happened. And I'm not leaving out a single detail. And my parents used to literally get up from the table and leave the room. And I told Sarah that, like, you would walk up and our living room was right here. And then it was, like, where kind of the kitchen was a little bit open, like the doorway was open. So I was just, like, a wall kind of separated from them, not even wholly. So I would just talk through the wall. Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, and this happened.
I love it so much. And it's not in a bad way, but, like, you just, like, can talk, like, not in a bad way. Like, that's a good thing. Like, that's our relationship, our friendship. Destiny just saying, have you seen that TikTok?
Oh my God.
And me saying, no. Have you seen that movie? No.
Me forcing Sarah earlier to film this TikTok with me that I just thought was us in a TikTok, and it's probably up by now by the time that you see this. And then I told her, I was like talking about other TikToks that I'd saved, that I was like, I feel like this one would be good. And I was like, you know, like the Sex and the City audio, and Sarah goes, nope.
We said that one day for the podcast we're gonna do. Destiny's gonna show me celebrities. I'm gonna try to name them.
That is so fun.
Because there's no way. I know like a handful. Not even.
Well, she recently just discovered Tom Cruise.
Here's the thing. I knew Tom Cruise. Like, I knew his name. Obviously, I know he's like a huge. But you didn't know the face. I told Destiny, I said, I may have a crush on Tom Cruise. And she says, oh, like, from what? And I was like, oh, from his stunts in the the end of the Olympics. When he jumped off and then rode a motorcycle and got on an airplane. And then
it's because he does all those Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah. And I've never been into that. I've never been into those kind of movies. Because we did bring it up earlier today. And we were saying, if you've ever read Beach Read, like, Gus is, like, writing about cult, like, they're kind of, like, whatever, like, researching it. And we were like, we would read that book. Like, Emily Henry needs to come out with the books that they were writing in Beach Read. Yeah. That would be so cool.
I wish she did. Like, even if it was, like, short stories, like, say she wrote a novella, because even, like, you know, like, January's book, and then, like, Charlie and Nora, like, the books that they're talking about, or even in Happy Place, like, how they were talking about the one, like, Cozy Mysteries. It'd
be so fun.
Like, I was like, I wish, even just, like, Gus's book, I would read a whole entire book. Like, I wish that she would publish that.
That was, like, a novel love story. I said it in, like, my review, but imagine she falls into the book town, and it's, like, she falls into 7 Year Slip. And she's, liked
that you said that. I think that would have been really cool and very meta if she would have done that.
So cool.
I hated it. Oh my gosh, wait, that was way too strong of a whatever. You didn't I was severely disappointed by it. Like, it was still a 3-star where I was like, I feel like it would be a really good book for the fall time.
I always think it's a cozy read.
It's such a cozy read that you could, like, cozy up, have the fall ambiance on, and it would be great.
I didn't really pay attention too much to the romance because I wasn't really feeling it, but then all of a sudden I listened to the audiobook, the last few bits of it, and I was so confused where all of it came from. It just felt so random.
It felt like she remembered like 70% into the book that she was supposed to have a romance.
Yeah, that's what it was, because she was so focused on the book characters.
Because her books are romances. Like, they're not...
Yeah. Well, she needed it. The main character was so focused on her book characters rather than the romance part.
Which I think people... What I've seen from a lot of people is that a lot of people loved the 7 Year Slip, and then they kind of feel indifferent about the Dead Romantics, and then some people really didn't like a novel love story. And so it's like some people are like, maybe the 7 Year Slip was a one-off. I think her writing stays the same, where it's like good writing. I cried over the Dead Romantics. I don't know if you've read that book.
I did.
Yeah.
I don't really remember much about that one.
I cried.
But I like her writing in every single one of her books. I think just the story of the way she took the story in a novel love story I didn't really enjoy.
You could read every single one of her books in the fall.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you want to know what I wonder what happened?
In which one?
Because with Ashley Poston and a novel love story. And this is like a conversation that I kind of started having. If you guys watched, I did a video all on like book talk and stuff. This is a conversation that kind of goes around where it's like, so you had the Dead Romantics. And I feel like the Dead Romantics got like, not like hype, but it was like, oh, she got, like, readers with that book. And then the 7 Year Slip came out. So you have to think, there was nothing really in between those two books that made her think, like, I have to, like, keep this hype going. And, like, this is, like, whatever. So, but then the difference between the 7-Year Slip and a novel love story, not really even within the writing, but, like, the pacing of the book and everything. I'm like, is there a rush that authors feel to put out these books because they want to, like, ride the hype that their other books have? I think so.
Also because, did we talk about this just ourselves or last podcast? But, like, I don't really know. We talk about so many times, but so many new releases that come out from so many authors now, I think keeping, like, not just the hype, but, like, people, like, wanting to read your next book. If you take too long of a break and so many other authors that are loved are coming out with so many books, it's like maybe they'll forget or, like, not really, like, remember or whatever. So I think that they probably have a timeline. It's like if you exceed this, like, it probably won't be as hyped or people won't be so excited for it, especially when you have a book that is, like, so popular and recommended so much, like the 7-Year Slip, at the point that it was. It's like you want to continue to keep that and, like, announce a new book. And so if you announce a new book, you're gonna have to put the date it's gonna come out. Can't be too far away from it, and then they have just that timeline to get it done. I just made all of that up. I don't know if that's true.
I think when they announce a book, the book is already written.
Yeah, so if she's announcing it and the hype of 7-Year Slip is, like, still going, people are still recommending that book,
or at least it's majorly written. Like,
it's like you have enough of the book.
You have enough of the book to, like, because, you know, when we read books, getting our knowledge from books that are fictional, by the way.
End of the sentence. You know, when we read books.
Yeah, you know, when we read books. But they talk about kind of, like, the publishing and how, like, the agent is like, okay, this was your deadline. Like, we need to be telling people, like, this is what's coming out. I wonder if it's, like, you need to have this much of it. The publisher reads as much as you have of it. And they're like, okay, let's start putting out that you're going to be, like, releasing a new book, even if it's not completely finished.
I think the pressure probably gets a lot, too. Especially when you're, like, going from your first release into, like, your third. And you're, like, those two have done so well. The pressure probably gets to you. I mean, that would 100% be me. I'd be so nervous.
Well, do you agree with the kind of idea that with, like, TikTok book hype, it's causing, like, in publishing and editing and writing to, like, go down in quality? Because I see it. Like, I see it in some of the books that get put out where I'm like, there's no way this made it past an editor.
I can see it. I think that everything is just so similar now. And I don't know if it's because authors are, like, focusing so much on tropes that people like, that it's like, if everyone loves an enemies to lovers, like, and we're all running an enemies to lovers, everything is feeling the same. Because I feel like a lot of authors are not even just promoting their books as tropes, but they're just throwing in a lot of tropes into the book where they're all just feeling the same.
Well, and some authors are literally getting their inspiration from other authors' works, where it's not like, oh, I like what they did and this inspired me to do it. It's like, oh,
the same tropes.
This, like, I'm going to kind of copy and paste this in a way. Like, I recently reread Divergent, and as I was rereading Divergent, I was like, this is literally feels like Fourth Wing was a copy and paste, but you just added dragons and, like, a dragon.
Well, all those, like, books that were, like, OG, just books in general, not Book Talk, way before Book Talk, like Divergent, all of those are, like, not the standard, but what people or authors probably fall back onto, because that was, like,
even
the first books to get so popular.
Is it Lightlark that her whole entire advertisement go around was like, it's like the Hunger Games?
I think so, because I'm pretty sure that has trials in it. I never read Lightlark.
Yeah, and then even with Powerless, people were like, I think that's even how you got me to read it. You were like, it's like the Hunger Games. Like, they go through these trials, and I was like, okay, yeah, like, I love the Hunger Games.
There's trials in a lot of fantasy books that I read.
Now, And I feel like, I don't know if that was, like, a thing before the Hunger Games, because I feel like you said, it's just, like, Divergent, the Hunger Games, even, like, Shatter Me. I feel like those are some, like, kind of more OG dystopian type fantasy books where I was like,
yeah, I think the authors also see, like, people enjoying specific parts of books or, like, tropes in books, and they, like, want to circle or, like, surround their book on that trope or something like that, and then they market it like that, and it's like it feels similar to another book that you like, and then it all just feels very same.
Yeah, I do feel, though, like, I have seen, like, a difference, and it's kind of like what we were saying about Ashley Poston, where it's like, it feels like, though, that there is a difference between your last book before you had a lot of hype and now your book after you have a lot of hype. I think
it's the pressure that gets put on. It's like, it's so hard to, like, because I feel like when you're a debut author and you're writing your first book, no one knows. Obviously, they haven't read it, they don't know anything.
And you take so much time crafting it. Like, you have to think, because there's no, like, deadline for the most part.
Yeah, you're all into this because no one's ready. You don't know what's going to happen with the book, but I think after you put out, like, one or two and you're on bestseller lists and everything, there's so much pressure to, like, do better than that and then everyone gets excited. It's always like we've been talking about novel love stories since it was been announced to be released. So like we also put a lot of expectations on these new releases, and that also feeds into our disappointment sometimes.
I mean, you can't help I feel like that's just like the human way though. Like when you get the new season of Bridgerton and you're like, ooh, I loved last season. Like I can't wait for this season. You want the book, TV show, whatever it is to get hyped, but you're seeing the same thing within like movies and TV shows where it's like you get a hit and then they think like, ooh, I have to run with this. And it's like sometimes just leave it how it was. Like
I think though, I'm not going to, but I feel like with new releases, like funny story how you were so excited, but reading it when the hype was up and like everyone's talking about it, everyone's reading it, like kind of like changes your perspective on it. It's like hard if you read it now, maybe different. I like want to do that. Like when I read Fourth Wing months and months and months after everyone, like I had my own perspective on it, even though I felt like I should really like it because everyone loves it. But like, if I read that the same time as everyone loving it, I feel like I would have also given it a 5-star. Like, you know, when you're persuaded, because it's so hyped at that time, you're like, do I really like this?
Well, but then, or it comes with like the thing where like, even if it's like not necessarily hype, but like, you know, when you like start a book and you go on Goodreads and it has literally like over like a 4 point whatever, like average, and it has so many reviews and you're like, crap. Like, this is a well-loved book, and if I don't love it...
Yeah.
But I pride myself on, like, even when people don't like it, I'm like, I'm always going to tell you that I don't like a book because it's my opinion. I'm allowed to have my opinion. Like, if I have my opinion, if I don't have my opinion, I have nothing.
Yeah, because I feel like if you're say you like every book and you really don't, then it's like...
And then it's a little untrustworthy because it's like, as a viewer, you have to think from a viewer's perspective. You're like, okay, well, are you just telling us that you like everything?
Also, like, someone can come to your channel and you're giving everything a 5-star. Like, they can't see, like, your taste in books.
No.
Like, I'm sure people coming into our channels, if we don't like a book, we don't like this kind of, I don't know, genre or trope or author style writing, it's like, now we can know your taste. And, like, when I watch other videos, it's like, I take recommendations from some creators because we have the same taste in books. We know what each other likes and not. So I feel like it's important to say when you don't like a book or if you really do like a book.
Yeah, and I feel like I see it on TikTok, but I also see it on Goodreads a lot where, like, I've had it stuff, like, in the past. I think when I read Ruthless Vows this year, I read that. Wow. It's like, this year has felt like so long, but I remember, like, I read that after loving Divine Rivals. And I gave it like a 2-star or something. Like, I just really didn't like it. And then, like, I remember getting comments and stuff on Goodreads, and people were like, oh my gosh, like, blah, 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 like, telling you, like, kind of like how you're wrong. You're either wrong or stupid. Like, okay, well, you just don't get it. Like, you didn't think too deeply into it. And it's like, or I just didn't like it. Like, I hated seeing that side of the social media, but that comes with anything where it's like, I mean, but then again, it's like their opinion that they think of that. But it's like, but you're stating your opinion on my opinion. Like, I'm just telling you that I don't like it. I'm not saying that if you like it, oh, well, you, like, obviously don't know what you're talking about, so why are you telling me I don't know what I'm talking about if I don't like it?
Yeah, I think that everyone has their own opinions on books. That's the whole beauty of reading. Like, we could read the same book, and one of us could love it, and one of us could absolutely hate it.
And we've had that multiple times. Like, multiple times.
It has happened, so.
And it's like...
It's normal. I think people just, like, maybe expect you to like the books, and when they see you give it like a 2-star, they're surprised, especially if they like it. So it's like,
and I understand, but it's like not that deep.
No, it's
like,
never that deep. If you really think about it, never that deep.
No, because like I remember, and I always go back to this one just because we all know that Boys of Tommen is one of my favorite series ever. So when Sara gave it a try and she was like, oh, I mean, I liked the first one, but I don't know, like whatever, and she went to the second one, DNF'd it. It literally, like, we joked about it, and then I've never once, until, like, we bring it up now, I don't think about it. Unless I'm, like, joking about it with you.
Well, because I never came to you and was like, your book taste sucks.
No. And you were like, I'm DNFing it. Like, I know what you're saying. Like, I don't like it.
And in the same way, when you first read Magnolia Parks and didn't like it, we had, like, valid conversations of why you weren't enjoying it.
And I like having conversations like that sometimes. Like, even how, we, like, not that I didn't like Funny Story, but, like, how it just didn't hit as hard as, like, her other ones. But, like, me, you, and Haley, like, sat down because you guys loved it. Like, it was 5-star reads. And, like, we were able to, like, have a conversation about, like, kind of what I didn't like about it and what you guys liked about it.
That's what's so fun because, like I said, you have so many different, like, perspectives and opinions on books when you can, like, talk about it.
Yes.
Like, I don't see a 3-star opinion on the Funny Story because it's a 5-star for me, but, like, hearing what you think about it,
and you're like, so oh, I mean, I can see why you, and it's just, like, interesting to do the discourse back and forth, and sometimes you can even agree on what somebody doesn't like about it, but you're like, but it just didn't bother me enough to, like,
the reasons you first didn't like Magnolia Parks, like, totally valid reasons. It's like, whenever people are, like, not liking that book, I'm like, yeah, makes sense.
But
not
also,
everyone's gonna like it.
With Magnolia Parks, that I remember telling you too, like, that's the whole entire reason I gave it another shot. One, because Sara loved it, and I had pretty much, except for The Great Undoing, I had all of the books.
Yeah.
So I was like, might as well read them. I literally have them. But when I read them, it was when they, like, first ever, like, not even to the peak of their hype. It was, like, when people were, like, whispering about it is what I say. Like, it was not something that was, like, heavily talked about. And I was like, ooh, a book that I can get ahead of, like, the hype. So I read it, and I did not expect it to be, like, a toxic relationship. Yeah. So when you go in not knowing that that's what you're going to get out of it, you're going to be like, this sucks. Like, not that the book sucks, but you're like, ew, this couple is, like, this guy kind of sucks. But then once you go in, you're like, no, it's a story about these two characters.
I also feel like it's a series that you have to read the second one at least before you, like,
100%. I feel like that about a lot of series that are like that, like the Addicted series. I remember always feeling so annoying for telling people that you had to get to, like, the third Addicted book, or even, like, if you were like, or getting to Kiss the Sky, because I remember, you guys know, if you know, I love Lily and Lo, like, they're my favorite. If you go back and rewatch my reading books, I hated them. Yeah. Like, I would say I was literally like, I can't stand them.
People sometimes will compare the relationship, the toxicity of relationships between the Addicted series and Magnolia Parks.
Yeah.
In the beginnings of the series, which makes so much sense. Because it's not healthy relationships.
And that's why, another reason why I gave it, because I was like, okay, I went through the first, like, 3 books, like, hating Lily and Lo. Like, I was literally like, I can understand where you're coming from, but, like, you guys, especially Lo, like, that's crazy to think. Like, not really Lily, but Lo, where I was like, he sucks. Mm-hmm. And I don't see, like, oh, yeah, he's whatever with Lily, but he, like, sucks to everybody else.
Same thing as BJ.
No, literally. Like, no, and BJ, that's what I remember telling myself, which I didn't love BJ as much as Lo, but.
People, like, put the question up, like, in the Magnolia Park series. I think maybe Justice said it somewhere. I forget what it was, but it was, like, people love Julian, like, the murderer over a cheater. Like, put that into, like, real life perspective. I know, but if you really think, isn't that crazy?
I think,
on the scale, people hate BJ because he cheated. Obviously, he's not helping himself in the situation, but putting him right next to someone that, like, is in the mafia murdering, you know what I mean? It's like, that's a greater scale.
And that is crazy, because even when I used to read mafia romances, you guys know I've had my time on Wattpad, and I've thought about so many times. I remember even telling you, like, a year ago that I wanted to do a video. I'm still signed into my Wattpad, and I wanted to, like, reread some of the books that I read, which is crazy because I guarantee they're wild, that I would stay up and I would pull all-nighters.
Well, that's what I always say. Like, when I was, how old was I reading on that? 13?
Yeah.
Like, young age, and we're reading those Wattpad stories, but then we're over here saying, like, imagine, like, these kids are going to Barnes & Noble picking up, like, Icebreaker. It's like, I can say that, but I was reading crazy stuff at the same age.
But it's kind of like when you grow up, though, but then you look at these younger kids and you're like, they shouldn't. No, like, I look at it and I'm like, I should not have been reading that. Like, it's just not something that should have been.
But Wattpad was just so easily, what's it called? To get into and download books and read.
Yeah, and it was like, and so it was like, and I just thought it was cool because other people were writing them, and I was like, ooh, and I didn't know that, like, people actually published, like, stuff like that, so I was like, ooh, this is, like, a cool niche, because, like, I grew up watching mafia movies, so I was like, this is interesting. So, but I remember, like, watching stuff like that, reading. And, like, especially on Wattpad. If y'all have had your time with some mafia romances on Wattpad, you know where they go. They go far. Like, they go pretty far with, like, violence and stuff in those books.
Yeah, because it's self-published.
It's self-published, and they're just on a website. So I remember literally being like, they could brutally murder somebody, but the second that they try to cheat on this girl, like, I am done. It's done.
So crazy.
And it's crazy because he just murdered 5 people.
I know.
They just, like, he went and, like, murdered 15 people to save her, but I'm like, and he saved her? like, whatever. And I'm like, girl, he's a killer.
It's so crazy.
But that's, like, now, like, reading Haunting and when I tried to read the first of the Cat and Mouse duet, I was literally, like, sick to my stomach.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever read, like, an actual dark romance.
See, the ones that I have of, like, Sophie Lark that I've read and stuff like that, they don't go that deep, I feel.
There's a morally gray a little bit.
Like, even if they're in the mafia, because I remember the first time that I started picking up mafia books like that were, like, published versus, like, the mafia I was reading on Wattpad, I remember being like, oh.
Not as graphic.
This is, like, they don't kill people like they do in these, like, Wattpad romances. But, Sophie Lark does have, like, the devil, what is it called? The devil something. And it's a duology. That one.
The Sinner's Duet?
The Sinner's Duet.
Yeah, I never.
That one gets crazy. Really? I read it at the end of 2021, I think. The end of 2021. And it's stuck in my brain. Like, really? I remember some of the graphic scenes in it and everything.
I said this time last year, I think. It was, like, fall time, actually. It was our fall vlog. Mm-hmm. When we first started the podcast.
Yeah.
That I wanted to read, what's it called?
The Harry Styles fanfic?
Yeah. What's it called?
Duplicity.
And
wow.
I still would love to do
Oh
that.
my gosh. No, because I saw a Duplicity edit the other day, and I was like, why have I not read this yet?
Thank you. I think because it's such a long book.
In the grand scheme of things, like, how long do you think it would be, like, translated onto page?
I don't know.
Like, you know that one fanfic that's, like, Harry Potter, and it's called, like, Manacled or something?
I heard that's amazing.
I've heard that it's amazing.
We need to get into Harry Potter so we can get to that.
I have to read Harry Potter first. I know that it's, like, a Draco and Hermione fanfic, and that they don't actually date in the books. Like, that's not a thing. People just, like, shipped them together. That's not an actual thing.
Is he the evil guy?
He's in the Slytherin house.
Has white hair.
He's the white hair, yeah. And so people, I don't know.
I was on Draco Talk for a while.
No, same.
Never seen Harry Potter.
I don't know. You guys tell me. Was it because the guy who played Draco actually had a crush on, what's the girl's name who plays Hermione?
Oh, I actually know this.
Emma Watson?
Yeah.
Emma Watson?
Yeah.
Like, I know that it was said somewhere that he actually had a crush on her. So did you guys get it from that? Or did you guys get it from the movies because he would kind of pick on her? I don't know what it was. But in this fanfic, it's like a different world than Hogwarts, though. It's like, I remember somebody explaining it to me in the comments because I was like, I don't know what you guys are asking me to read. Like, I don't understand.
I know people are obsessed with it.
I would have to read Harry Potter first. But then it's like, what if I like Manacled?
I would have to read Harry Potter and watch the movies before I get into that, which could be years.
Are the movies, like, long?
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of
What else do I do?
The only thing in the Harry Potter universe I watched because in college I took one of the, like, the classes you, like, kind of have to take. It was under it, and it was, like, a media something class, social. I don't know what it was, but we watched. It's, like, a spin-off of Harry Potter. Like, I don't know if he's, like, saving the creatures. If you know the Harry Potter world, you probably know what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know, but that's the only thing I've ever seen. And the teacher was trying to explain, like, the different, like, creatures in the movie, but, like, everyone knows Harry Potter world, and I was so lost the whole time. But we had to watch it for class, so I did watch that. I forgot what it's called. Something in the magical creatures. I don't really know.
Oh, I didn't know that Daniel Radcliffe, like, did another Harry Potter
No, it wasn't
movie.
him. It was, like, another character, but, like, Fantastic
Oh, wait,
Beasts.
that guy? Oh, yes, the Fantastic Beasts.
This is what I watched.
Because I was literally, the way I didn't read the movie title, I was like, that guy's in the Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, I've never seen this guy before.
I
Like,
have.
What else he's in?
He's
You know
in
his
something
real
else.
name?
He's in something else. Hold on, click cast. Go to Fantastic Beasts, click casts. He's in something, and it's going to hurt my brain.
His name is Eddie Redmayne.
Yes, now, what movie? What's his discography?
He's in Good Nurse Les Mis.
Yeah, I was thinking of Les Mis. That's what I was thinking
He was
of.
in Thomas the Train.
Thank God. I think I'm going to start it in September, but I'm going to slowly, I think, drag it through the end of the year because so many people are like, read it in the fall, but then people are like, no, read it around Christmas because it, like, does the holidays and stuff. So I'm like, I'll slowly read it.
You know what reread I'm starting next month? If you want to hop on.
Throne of Glass?
Mm-hmm.
I've been wanting to do
But, like,
reread of
split
Throne
up
of Glass.
between the next, like, end of the year months.
But the thing that I'm scared about is, like, would I just fall back in love with it and just, like, want to reread Throne of Glass? Next month would be my month of rereads because how I said I want to reread Book Lovers.
Yeah.
Like, I want to reread that book so bad.
You should do some rereads then.
Maybe I'll reread Funny Story.
Let me know
Hot
if you
take,
do.
if you read a book and then you reread it in the same year, are you counting it as two different books read?
Yeah.
Same.
You're reading the full book.
I'm reading it again. It's just
100%.
like, I get so annoyed when people, like, get caught up in the logistics of that when they're like, but I'm like, okay, but if I read it this year and then I didn't reread it again this year, but then I went to next year and reread it, you would let me count it as a book read. And also, you're not letting me count anything as a book read. Let me get that
either
straight.
way, you're reading it from cover to cover.
I read the book.
Even if it's the same thing. You can read the same book over and over again all year. You're reading that many books. Back to before, do you have any books that you want to get while we're here?
Oh my
40 minutes later.
I'm terrified to see how I got us off
How long
there.
we got here?
I'm terrified to see what I
It was
did.
a good tangent, though.
Yeah. What was I saying to get us here?
I think we started talking about...
But you asked me that, and I got us derailed, and I don't know
You did
how.
say something, but we never came back. I was just... But
Okay.
it was a good...
Books that I have on my
Do you
radar.
have anything that you're thinking?
Is there any new releases that have been... I want to get Just Last Night, because Haley was, like, really talking about that book, and I've wanted to read it ever since, because Haley read
in
it...
California?
Yes, the yellow cover,
Yeah.
that I've seen for years. I remember her hauling that book when she first started getting into books, and then she read it, and I was like, wow, that's interesting that you, like, picked this book up after having it on your TBR for, like, 3 years.
You didn't take one breath between that whole sentence. You, like, had to get it out. I can't wait for you to hear that one back. That one was good.
So humbling when I get called out. Like, girl, just take a breath.
I think that's a good one. I don't really know what I want to get. I do. This is weird, though, because I did see Mile High in Barnes, but is it traditionally published, the series?
Technically, yes.
Like the whole series?
I think now it is. But no, that's going to piss me off.
Yeah.
Because I have all of the other 3 books, and if I can't get the 4th book in the, like...
Order on Amazon right now before they switch up.
If it comes. Do you know how many times that's happened to me? Where I have, like, the indie published books, and then, like, I get the last book.
I have the Brutal Prince 3 Brutal Prince indie books. I don't have the rest of them.
What is Brutal Prince?
Sophie Lark.
True.
Is it a red flag for me to get Play Along and none of the other ones from a shelf? Because I feel like you're the type, you have to get the whole series, right?
But that's just a me thing. And also because I did enjoy majority of the series, and I already had Mile High. Like, I had Mile High, and then I didn't like it.
I did enjoy the other 3, so I feel like I want to get all 3 of them. But then I'm like, at this point...
Did you never get Mile High? Did you never purchase a copy of it? No, it's on my
Kindle.
I mean, you could just get the other 3.
I'll see.
She's coming out with another one.
You read about Kai?
No, I'm thinking about the one that is friends with Ryan.
No, the last one's about Rio.
That's who I'm talking about.
That's Xander. Isn't that Xander's?
No, that's right. I thought that was Ryan's friend.
It's one of those friends.
Wait, or
no. I think it's Xander's teammate who had a crush on Indy.
True.
So I want to get Play Along if they have it. Because it's a 5-star, and like, why do I not have it?
I haven't read that yet, and I need to read it.
I've been hyping it up so much, and if you don't like it, totally fine, but I just like...
But I liked the rest of the series, and I have been telling you that
I know you're going to enjoy it, but like, for some reason, I love it on another level.
But I really loved the one before. What was it? Caught Up.
Yeah, that one's really good. What are you reading right now? I also want to get You with the View. That's what I wanted to get. I have to get it.
Oh, I thought that you read that.
No. Actually, that's the first one by her.
Well, I don't think that they're like connected in any way.
No, they're
at
not.
all.
But I love her writing, so I need to.
I gave for You with You 4. I actually just finished. So I have a video that's coming out. I don't know when. So I need something. So I didn't know which video I wanted to dive into. 'Cause I either have like reading the books that Isaac picked out for my TBR. I either have those, or I was thinking of like I wanted to do mood readings. I feel like I haven't actually like mood read in such a long time.
I was gonna pitch an idea to you, me and Rachel, to read the same book while we're here, just for funsies.
Like what book?
If no one's reading anything, I don't know. We can go pick out a book together.
True. I'm not reading anything, but I was like in video mind.
Yeah.
I'm like I don't know which video to start.
Well, it's weird because when I'm going to the beach the first week of September, I want to bring the Kristen Hanna book I bought, Winter Garden. And I was like, that just doesn't feel right. But I want to read another one of her books, and that one's just on my TBR.
I want to read, I think it's The Four Winds. Yeah, I read. Did you not read that, or did you read it?
No, that's the first one I read.
That's what I thought.
I was waiting to hear like your rating on it, but I didn't know if you were saving it.
I want...
Something about her writing is just like...
Yeah. I want to read The Four Winds by her and The Great Alone. Those are... I feel like... Because you know, like, her back catalog of stuff, I feel like is not... Or I have like 2 books from her that read more almost like an Ellen Hildebrand book. I haven't read them, but like from the synopsis, it's more like if you were going to pick up an Ellen Hildebrand. But I feel like she did this switch.
It's like historical.
And then, she started doing like heavily historical fiction.
I want to know so bad her research on things.
Well, in the author's note of The Nightingale, she talks about how she was reading, I think it's Winter Gardens, that takes place during World War II. And there's like another book that takes place during World War II. And she said she was doing research for that book, going around talking to people who had firsthand witness experiences.
Yeah, that's what she does.
Yeah, and she gets these people's stories, and that she had heard about women who did what the sisters do in The Nightingale. And so then like she wanted to take their stories and like put them into this book. And I read her author's note. I think that her author's notes with those books specifically are definitely worth reading because she does kind of like deep dive into
because she gives an explanation of why she wrote about it, because it's like not that it's random, but like writing so many historical fictions, like she has to be doing like her research behind the scenes and then making it into a book. And
you need to read The Women. The Women is so good by her.
Well, I want to read The Winter Garden because it's on my TBR, and then after that I'm gonna get The Women.
See, I want to read The Great
Alone.
No, The Four Winds. The Four Winds first because it takes place in Texas. It takes place near the Dust Bowl that happened like earlier in history. The blinks in your eyes told me no. So it's about that. Like, so people like back in the day, I think it was like early 1900s, when they lived in like Texas and stuff, there was like the Dust Bowl. So it takes place during that time. Okay. And then The Great Alone is about something else.
I read the back some and I forget about them. I read for my like rom-coms or whatever. I'm reading my romances.
But the deep emotional books have just been hitting for me. Like I read Beartown. I read A Man Called Ove. I
guess I'll just wait for your video. Like you really like Anxious People too.
No, I said I was like I really want to read Anxious People now. I've wanted to read Anxious People since I was a senior in high school.
Me too. I said it in my video when I read it. Like I used to go to the bookstore and always notice that book.
Maybe that's a book that I'll get on this trip.
You should. It's a really, really,
Anxious
really good
People,
one.
Just Last Night, and then the 2 Kristen Hanna books that I want to read.
Okay, I want to get Play Along if they have it, You with a View. Maybe I'll get another Kristen Hanna book.
I'm trying to think of, like, I've been really, like, so what I want to do is, like, I want to read literary fiction, and then I want to read, like, a romance. Mm-hmm. I have not been in the mood for fantasy. Like, I do not want to pick up a fantasy.
I've been in a mystery mood, or, like, a romance that's not, like, rom-com cheesy. Like the X-Files, or, like, something like that. I've been really, really hitting.
Yeah, I have a few books that I'm going to bring on vacation with me, because I literally just plan on sitting there and, like, not doing anything. But, like, those matte covers that I feel like Kristen Hanna and Frederick Bachman do, I'm like, why are we doing this? I gotta crack the spine, and it looks so bad when I crack the spine with these. But then again, I'm like, I don't care.
I don't really either. I never, like, sit there and actually crack the spine, but, like, if it happens or, like, gets messed up, I never... Yeah, I know you do that. I'll, like, flip the cover of it, yeah.
No, yeah, I do a good cover flip and rip.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now I can't wait to go book shopping.
I know. I don't know.
We, like, can't... We have to wait for Rachel.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But I'm saying, like, we don't... Back to the start of the episode, where, like, we know, like, an idea, but we don't know, like...
When we're doing it.
Like, we don't know, like, oh, is tomorrow going to be, like...
I wish we could just... Not that I wish we could. Just FaceTime Rachel and just, like, plan. Because I know girlies, we're all planners.
She's, like, really...
She's a planner.
I think I'm a planner. She's a planner. Like, planner. When she had the envelope full of, like, all of her documentations, I was like, I would never think of bringing that with me. She is so organized.
I love it so much. So I think we need to ask her and plan with... Can't believe we're in New York right now.
No, I still don't. Like, we said this at the beginning of the episode, and I don't believe it. Like, it feels like we're just sitting in our apartment. Oh, we never said that. This isn't our apartment.
They would have.
Oh, but we talked about coming.
If you've made it this far...
This is not our apartment.
This is how we are the whole day, too. This is what we're going to do the rest of the night. Us just sitting like this and talking.
This is our apartment, and...
We could go on for the next, like, 5 hours, but this is not our apartment. If you've made it this far, we're actually at a hotel. Mm-hmm. Well, we said that Rachel's staying in the same hotel.
Oh, yeah. Like, but if you didn't get it.
Yeah, if you didn't.
There's the announcement that this is not our apartment.
We're not.
But, I don't think... I mean, I have other things to say, but I'm not going to.
I don't have anything specific. Oh, I actually had one thing written down, but I guess I could save it for another one.
I know. You can say it now.
Okay. I was curious about what demure means.
Okay. I was going to say this to you when you picked me up from the airport, because, like, somebody did something, and I was like, that's not very demure of them.
I don't... It's like... I hate being on the outside of a trend so much. Well, I just keep seeing people commenting it on TikTok, and I'm like, what did I miss? I don't...
You see how I do my makeup for work? Very demure.
That's what it started?
Yeah. Like, they even made one, because they were on a plane. And they said, they're on the plane, clocking everybody on the plane. They go, see how I'm in my seat and I'm not getting up? I keep it classy. I keep it demure.
Okay.
So it's kind of like modest, mindful. Like, you're demure. Like, it's not, like, that's not very demure.
People are just commenting on everything. We hope you guys enjoyed listening to us yap. If you watched, I hope you enjoyed our little apartment.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the apartment tour.
We'll see you next week in the same spot, because how fun is that?
Yeah.
How could we not give you guys another episode in person together?
Yeah.
Imagine we just film like 4 or 5.
We just can't stop talking. And I'm not looking at Sarah right now because I'm zoning out.
Anyway, that's all from us today. Thanks for coming along.
Thanks for listening or watching.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.